From Crosby Village
to your radio.
Bliss Radio.
Listening to Bliss Radio, the station that offers you more, and as I always say, the station that rocks every single Monday night. I am here and I am joined by Frankie Allen and his son/manager, Will. Good evening.
How's it going, Smigger? You alright?
Hi, Smigger. How you doing, mate?
Right, basically, obviously you've heard of Frankie. If you haven't heard of Frankie, as I said earlier, Google him, YouTube him, Facebook him, Twitter him. He doesn't know what half of these things are, but do it and you will find him. I've known Frankie, well, I think the first time I met Frankie, when was it? Late 90s, early 2000s. I was DJing in, I think it was St. Philomena's.
That's right, yeah. I worked with you a couple of times, I think, before we actually met each other, kind of thing. You know, I was dashing in and doing a spot and dashing to another club.
Yeah,
you were kind of there all night.
I was the compere and the DJ.
Yeah, compere and the DJ. So, but yeah, we got to know each other very well, really, the last few years.
Yeah, well, I met Frankie years ago, I'd say, back when we both had hair. But I've got you to know you more properly through like the oldie club and.
Well, it was you that said to me I had the right face for the radio, you know.
That's why I got the job, because I've got the perfect face for radio. But obviously, you know, you've been doing it for a while now. You've got a unique way of bringing comedy through. It's unique because, you know, he's not scared like other comedians are. And recently, you've gone absolutely viral on Facebook and YouTube and all that stuff. What was it like for you? Did you know, was it a massive change all of a sudden, or?
Well, I worked on the club Smig a long time, as you know, and never really got anywhere. I had my own kind of identity, my own way of doing things, my own style of comedy. I don't like the alternative scene. I don't really think they're funny. I like old-fashioned mainstream comedy, and I'm blue, you know, don't apologise for that. I'm a blue comedian, like picking on people, but I was going down great everywhere but not really getting anywhere. Then somebody filmed me in Barry's Bar in West Derby, and I'll let Will, my manager's son, take over and tell you the story.
Well, first of all, I seen that video and it popped up on my Facebook, and I'd seen it already had ridiculous amounts of likes, and I was thinking to myself, that's Frankie, I know Frankie, I see him all the time. What's going on? What happens?
It's a bit of a strange one for us, because obviously as a young lad you're in loads of WhatsApp groups with everyone, and the lads in North Liverpool sent it into the group, and then it got thrown into the chat in South Liverpool, so I thought this must be bouncing about a little bit. Next minute a couple of people put it on Facebook, and I think the highest one from our region got about 130,000 views. That's madness. Next minute this guy puts it on in Hartlepool, purely organic. It didn't even have Frankie's name on it or anything like that, and boom, 2.8 million views in like 2 days.
Yeah, I seen one or two posts saying, who is this guy?
This guy?
They were all liking and sharing it, didn't even know who he was.
Well, it's a bit of a mad one, so I managed to get in touch with the guy who had the biggest viral video, and a couple of the others, and they changed a lot of the posts that have Frankie's name on it and stuff, and you know, people started flooding in and coming to our page and our socials and stuff like that. But the funny part of it was, Frank had no idea as to kind of how this was going to change, you know, the playing field for him going forward, and how it was going to change everything, because he's going, well, if I'm going to get a break, I need to get a break on the TV. But now
it's not all about that, is it?
It's not all about that at all.
Well, I'm still a bit of an 80s man. I didn't realise, and actually it was Derry Matthews. You know, Derry Matthews, obviously world champ boxer, our very own. Yeah, great lad, Derry. Him and his mate Chris Woods, they were in Barry's Bar when I was on Father's Day. Chris started filming me and actually went over to him, Smig, and said, look, don't film me, I don't want my act being exposed, you know, really.
You don't want it exposed to jokes and
he kind of like done it a bit later on without me knowing, and he filmed 5 minutes that people were kind of fascinated with, and then it just went viral, took off, and rest is history, so to speak.
Yeah, if anything, it was a good thing that he filmed
it was a great thing, but I didn't realise it would be.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know from myself, I've got an 11-year-old daughter, and all the kids and everyone, and not just the kids, but you know, everyone seems to be into YouTube. These YouTubers are releasing videos, and they're making millions, and all they're doing is telling you how they play a computer game, or they're telling you how they like to play football, or they're talking about basic stuff, but they're making millions. So obviously, all of this viral stuff is definitely the way forward.
But the platform has changed in a way, and it, where people can actually share with their friends or watch whatever the hell they want to watch, rather than, you know, kind of being force-fed something on the TV, and people are being fascinated because the TV doesn't produce anything like Frankie's comedy, you know what I mean?
Well, obviously it's all PC now, isn't it? So it's all...
Well, it's all been a bit of a shock, Smig, really. When we first started getting the work was coming in, the work's been very slow earlier this year because a lot of the clubs have closed and things, the old social clubs, that scene's disappeared.
Yeah.
And people's habits have changed, they don't go out as much as they used to, so it's kind of struggling. And when the video kind of blew up, the emails were inundating my son's office, you know, and the phone was going all the time. So I went down to Plymouth. Well, we went down to Plymouth, you know, and got off the station.
Yeah.
I mean, it's miles away, how far away, you know, 300 miles from here.
Yeah.
And I'm walking down the road, and these two guys, these fellas, young kids, coming up about 19, 20, coming on, and they went, "Frankie, how you doing?" I went,
and they recognised you straight away.
Weird. Just a shock. So the whole thing's been a shock to me, really.
Yeah.
But, I mean, great, it's great now, you know, everywhere we're going, we're working. We're in Glasgow on Saturday, Friday in Patelli in Wales. Last night we were down at Stoke, and selling out everywhere, filling everywhere, getting great reception. So it just goes to show the old style comedy, as you might call it, although I've put a new twist on it, you know, with kind of picking on people, being interactive. People really want to see it.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? It's sort of like, it's gone, everyone wants to see it. You know, you watch these videos, and now everyone wants to see it. Like, for example, just after you went viral, you were on in the Oldie Club. Yeah. And you'd done a million gigs in the Oldie Club. And you went viral in the Oldie Club, and within, I think, about, 2 weeks, sold out. And I was DJing on the night.
That's right.
And we had every seat filled. We had tables on the dance floor. We had people standing by the doorways. The whole room was packed. And it was just crazy. It was like having a celebrity in the building.
Well, I'll let you, we'll tell you this about when we've done Tenerife, the Sky Bar.
Oh yeah, you've done Tenerife as well recently, didn't you?
So, we're in a position where, I mean, Smig, the thing is, the shows are much better now. And the shows are much better now because people know what they're going to see. And rather than it being an unticketed show where you know, you get a much different demographic of people, and Frankie's going on stage and he might be trying to please people that aren't necessarily into his comedy. Yeah. Now everyone's coming, everyone knows it's the Frankie Allen show.
What to expect.
Bought a ticket for, know what to expect. So they want that. We're putting out on the internet, you know, which of your friends you want us to pick on, who's getting it tonight, basically. And people love that. And so much so that we got an inquiry from Tenerife, and Frankie hadn't flown for 15 years.
I'm scared of flying.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, not anymore.
Really scared, yeah.
So was that difficult for you then when you took that on?
The guy got in touch with me, Baz, from the Sky Bar in Tenerife, and he said, "Look, Will, is there any chance of this? I really want to make it happen." So I said, "Oh, come on, we've got a tough job on our hands here, but let's see." So,
like Mr. T, getting them on a plane.
Exactly.
That's what it was like.
So what was it like when you got...
Well, you know Phil Steele, the hypnotist, he's a very good friend of mine. I know you know him, he's a good lad.
Yeah.
But he's got a place in the Port of Liverpool building as well where he does, not comedy hypnotism, real hypnotism for people who've got problems. Yeah. So I went to see him, he'd done 4 or 5 sessions about me with the fear of flying. And I did it, got on the plane, went to Tenerife, and we had a fantastic time there for a week.
Madness. So we had one show booked, and the guy essentially said, "Look, I don't really know how this is going to go, but let's see. I'll put it on a ticketed show and get Frankie out for the first time."
Yeah.
So he sold it out on a Tuesday night, packed, right? So 180 people.
Bearing in mind, this is in another country.
Yeah. Exactly. So he puts the Wednesday night on, sells out again in a day, 180 people. So he built another platform in his club to fit another 40 in, and he sold that out twice over. So there was 220 in each night, madness, and then turning away people at the door and all. And you just think, 6 months ago,
couldn't get any work, was struggling. And a 5-minute video, and you're like Elvis.
Well, I remember getting you on. I think I booked you myself for a couple of friends of mine.
Quarry Green?
An anniversary party in the Quarry Green, and I booked you in for it. And you were brilliant as always. And you were telling me, you were saying, it's
having
been
a bad time,
been a bit quiet lately. I'm made up for the gig. Thanks for that and all that. A week later, viral, crazy, and then now you can't get you. You can't. You're fully booked everywhere.
Well, you can, but you got to pay now, and you've got to try and convince Will.
Yeah,
No, but it's a situation, Smig, where a bit of a crazy one, really. When it did all went viral, Frankie still had some bookings in his diary from way back when. Yeah. But he said to me, "Look, I want to make sure I honour every show and make sure, don't want to let anyone down."
Obviously all the bookings you already had, yeah.
So we had to do some old shows, you know, and just started noticing they were heaving where normally they'd be half empty. So it was just all kind of weird. But I mean, it's fantastic. It's great.
Yeah.
You know, it's just maybe everybody gets to 15 minutes of fame. I just hope it lasts a little bit longer than 15 minutes.
Well, I know it's certainly still going really well at the moment, isn't it? So I wouldn't be surprised if you're back in Tenerife at some point.
We're hoping to, aren't we?
Yeah, they've asked us to go back. We'll go back in January, probably when it's a bit quieter.
I'm actually on holiday in Tenerife in January.
Really? Well, we'll see you there, yeah.
I'll DJ a bit for you.
Tell us the dates then, Smig.
Yeah, definitely. Right, coming up shortly, we're going to be discussing where you're going to be in the next few months and how you can get tickets. And of course, if you're listening and you own a bar or a club or a restaurant or a cafe, or anything, but you're willing to pay Frankie to come on and do a gig for you, we'll tell you exactly how you can get him and how you can see him. Stay tuned.
Across the Northwest and North Wales on DAB Digital Radio. Thanks for tuning in to Bliss Radio.
Bliss Radio.
If you are just tuning in, I'm here with Frankie Allen and his son/manager, Will. You alright?
Yeah, great, Smig.
We've been talking loads. We've been talking about how he's recently gone viral, and you know the amount of gigs he's getting is crazy. He's crazy busy at the moment. If you have seen his videos on YouTube or on Facebook or Twitter or any of the other platforms, you can understand why. We did say before we're going to talk a little bit about what you've got coming up, where you can see Frankie. Now, don't forget, we are broadcasting to the whole of the Northwest and the whole of North Wales. So obviously we can tell you a couple of little gigs that Frankie's got coming up in the next few months. And also if you're listening and you got your own venue and you want to book Frankie, or if you're having a birthday party or a wedding or anything you want to book Frankie for it, we're going to basically fill you in how you can do that. First of all, just while we were off the air there when we had the music on, Will started to tell me a funny story about Tenerife. Frankie touched on it a little bit earlier, how he was terrified of flying. Fill us in.
We were in Manchester Airport. Don't forget, I haven't flown for 17 years. Terrified. In fact, 2 years ago, I was supposed to be working in the Isle of Man. Got on the plane at Speke Airport. They were taxiing down the runway, and I said, no, stop. They stopped the plane. I had to get off because I was just so frightened. I was shaking from head to foot. So that's the extent of the fear. But when I seen Phil Steele, the hypnotist, he really kind of, I don't know how he done it, but he placed in these subconscious, urges in me not to be afraid, and I wasn't afraid. I got on the plane at Manchester. Everything was fantastic. We're flying off. Couple of hours. Obviously got my son with me and his girlfriend, and we're all talking. Couple of drinks. So we're coming into land at Tenerife. I said, this is too good to be true. I just feel fantastic. So look down, could see the tops of buildings, tops of houses. Next thing I can hear, cabin crew to landing. So just as we're going into land, the nose goes up and we fly up to about 40,000 feet. Then I nearly died. Obviously there was a problem. What the problem was, the landing gear hadn't come down. And I just totally went back, reverted to total fear.
Oh, it's so
I've never been so scared. So they had to go round the airport. The pilot said that there was another plane on the tarmac and there was no room for him to land. But I think, as we Scousers say, that was a terrible blag.
Yeah.
And I think he didn't want us all to flap. So
blag is Scouse colloquialism for a lie.
So I said to my son, what's happening here? He went, no, Dad, don't worry, we'll be okay. And we were okay, and we came into land, but I kind of on the way back, I went back to being very, very frightened. So possibly the worst thing that could have happened to me happened. So but we done the show. Shows were sold out. Shows were fantastic. Heaving. They want us back there. I really enjoyed it. Some great people there. A lot of Scousers there as well. It was great.
Yeah, well, as I mentioned before, I tend, it's like my routine to go to Tenerife every January.
Yeah.
I work crazy busy with the DJing over Christmas, and then I always book to disappear to Tenerife for a week. It's still hot in January. It's not roasting, but it's still nice weather, so it's always good.
It's nice, yeah.
Yeah, I believe as well, this is not your first radio station. While you were in Tenerife, did you?
We went on Radio Tenerife then. What was it called?
We went on a couple of stations out in Tenerife. Power On, and I can't think of the other one off the top of my head. Both very good, but we haven't done any radio stations in the UK as of yet.
Commercial radio stations.
Yeah,
like this one.
to be honest, but obviously because we've just been a bit mad busy at the moment, but Frank said he wanted to come along because you've been mates for a long time, you know.
Yeah, and I really appreciate this, Frank. I mean, if you're all unaware, as I mentioned earlier, me and Frank have known each other for a while, mainly through the Oldie Club and the charity gigs we've both done there for Silver Linings and stuff like that. And Frank's actually came on as a favour to me rather than...
But it's not a favour, it's great to come on as well, you know, Smeg. It's a great the station. You can't see the station, everybody out there, but the radio station's gorgeous. It's fantastic the way it's all been done out. Yeah. So I've been in a few in my time over the last few years, and this really, this is great.
Yeah, well, as I say, I really appreciate you coming on, and, you know, you didn't have to, of course. You're crazy busy, as I said, and you found time to come on, so, you know, that's great.
I know, but it's great for us, and part of it is, you know, it's a local radio station to us, and the reason why we're in this position, or Frank's in this position, is due to, you know, local working class people, you know, the people of the UK that have been sharing the videos and all the rest.
Well, I mean, it's no secret, I couldn't go on, you know, Celebrity Squares with my act, but the people have spoken, really. People have said, we like this kind of comedy, we don't care if it's a bit blue and a bit insulting, and they've gone for it and kind of voted, not with the feet, but with the thumbs, and they've switched on the videos. It's gone viral. I'm crazy busy, and I mean, there's a place for every kind of comedy. There's different niches. People are good at. There is a place for alternative comedy, I suppose, in some areas, universities and things. Yeah. But my kind of comedy, it's really taken off, and I always knew it would, really, because there's been some great comedians in Liverpool that have had no success. They passed away. Mickey Pinn, Jackie Hamilton, Eddie Archer, Hal Nolan. Been some great comics who really should have made it, you know. But the odds were stacked against them because the TV is too kind of PC, and the PC rule the roost in the 80s and 90s, and too kind of alternative.
Yeah.
I think part of the appeal really is, you know, Frankie's just one of the lads.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You know, he's just one of the lads, and it's the people. It's, you know, I mean, it must feel great to you, the fact that all these people are sharing it for you, and, you know, they're not doing it for any other ulterior motive. They're watching your comedy, they're liking it, and they're saying, watch this guy, he's brilliant. And that's why they're sharing it. So
well, it's very strange. I mean, the first couple of weeks, I always go down Breck Road in the morning to Chris's Cafe for me breakfast. Always eat out with my mate Davey Ford. He worked in the Empire and Granada TV years ago. So as I'm coming down Breck Road, there's a big van full of these lads, and they're pointing at me and screaming. I thought, oh no, what's this, road rage? So they stopped the van. I thought, what am I going to do here? You know, shall I phone the police? They're going to get out and do me in. And they jumped out and they went, Frankie! I said, what? I just couldn't get on it, you know. Frankie, do you have a picture? I said, yeah. You know, so got out the van, all these pictures, and I said, look lads, don't do that again.
Yeah.
You know, I couldn't eat my breakfast and then he died. So it's strange kind of adjusting to when it happens all of a sudden. It literally came out of the blue.
Yeah, and obviously with you not being like totally aware of social media and how crazy it's gone, it must have hit you as a bit of a shock because you weren't aware of it.
Well, obviously Will's a lot younger than me, he's my son, and he's right on his social media. He's a genius, you know, not just managing me but on the internet, and I didn't even know what an email was, you know.
Speaking of emails, because of all this, because you've gone viral and everything, have you had any weird messages of people? Now, before you answer that, just please be aware, weird, you can explain
I know what you mean
about it, but obviously not too weird. But have you had any strange, since you've become basically famous, you're already well too famous to go on Celebrity Big Brother.
Well, the first couple of weeks when it was blowing up, I had my own phone number. Now Will's taking over everything now, and it's mainly emails. But I was getting a couple of crank calls, you know, people ringing up 3 and 4 in the morning. Frankie, can you tell us a joke and all this? And you could hear loads of lads in parties and things, and they're all screaming down the phone, Frankie, do this routine, do that routine. So it was a bit of a nuisance in the end. I didn't mind. I don't sleep much anyway, but I was glad when Will took over everything, really, you know.
Yeah,
but it is funny, Smig, because, you know, Frankie's got a new phone number now, and it, as he said, most things are done through email. But due to the fact that he had that number at that time, he made mates with, like, mad people from all over the UK. So we're going to Plymouth. We're getting messages on Facebook, all right, mate, are you still meeting us for breakfast in the morning? And I'm like, what's this about?
So he said, yeah, give me his number, I'll phone him, we'll go for breakfast with him. He's a good lad, I used to phone him and that.
Oh, it just shows you. It's like,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, everyone wants to be your mate now. I mean, you already had plenty of mates anyway.
Yeah, plenty of mates. I've still got the same friends, yourself and Yozza from the old. Been a good friend of us on shows, and Joey Bennett, all the lads, we've got some great mates, and the same mates as what you've got. Everyone in Liverpool knows each other. It's just a village, And I think everyone's genuinely happy for me, because I've done all the shows for all the lads over the years. They're quite happy that I've had a bit of a break, Don't think anyone's been jealous.
Yeah, no, not at all. I mean, I've been lucky enough to work with you quite a lot. And introduce you and watch the show and hide in the corner so you don't pick on me. I've had loads of experience doing that over the years, so it's great, the fact that you're doing really well. I mean, after the last gig in the Oldie, you were there for Frankie basically done his gig, and then you were there for at least an hour after the gig, taking photos with people,
pictures and things. Yeah,
do you know what I mean? It's brilliant. It is really good, and it's great to see a mate doing well.
Well, I never set out to kind of insult people. I just do enough what I think would get a laugh, I think Brian, Brian, the DJ is he the DJ from the Quarry Green? Or the secretary? Yeah.
Little Brian, he's only about 4 foot. And like for the last 15 years, I've been having a go with him, when he walks past us, he fell off a key ring, and he came to a wedding here last year and he fell off the cake, and he kind of hides, you just get a lot of hiders now. People that know me will hide, or get to the back of the room. Yeah, I know myself. I'm a bit sly with it. I normally say to Frankie, "Look, get him. He's good. Get him. Stay away from me." I point other people out so you leave me alone.
But one area we're getting into a little bit more now is security, really, as well. Because some of the places that we're going to, they're all sold out and they're all heaving, and you might get the odd kind of idiot.
One person you always get one to make a name for themselves.
But at the same time, I mean, the places that we're going to, the demographics quite interesting, really, because the age range is from like 18-year-old lads right up to like 50-year-old women. It's a crazy mix, and at the same time, everyone's still enjoying themselves, and it's just great to see, innit?
If I work anywhere, it's great, and there's nowhere really where people are kind of kicking off or whatever. Everyone's coming out to see you, but
it always seems to be the nice group of people, basically.
Yeah, it's good people. It's good working class people. It's people that see Frank as one of their own and want to come along and support him. Yeah, of course. Basically. Yeah, because he's just like everyone else. Yeah, that's it.
But I mean, as you know, everyone in Liverpool knows each other. So if I go anywhere where I think, I've got to watch me step, or they mightn't like Scousers or whatever, even though they've all booked me, I'll take somebody with me, Jimmy Price, ex-champion boxer, he's a good mate of mine. He'll come along with me for the night and look after me. And so we've got every kind of
everything
area covered,
Yeah.
So it's great.
Yeah, well, I can tell you straight away, Will, you're doing a great job with managing Frank and that. I messaged Frank and he never got back to me, obviously, because his number changed. But Will was right on it, and it's spot on the way everything's working. We've gone a little bit over what we were planning on talking. We haven't even told you where you can see Frank yet, but if you stay tuned, we'll tell you after this.
Fighting back against dull networked radio. Bliss Radio.
Bliss Radio. Local and proud.
If you are just tuning in, you're listening to The Rock Show on Bliss Radio. I'm DJ Smigger. I'm here till 10 p.m. this evening, and I'm here with Frankie Allen and Will. Right, before we move on, we did say, obviously, we're going to let you know how you can watch Frankie, where he's going to be performing in the next couple of months, how you can book Frankie and all that. But first of all, we've had a couple of messages in, so I've got to read these out. I've had one from Susie Edwards, who said, Smigger was right. You have got a face for radio.
I'll get you, Sue. If you're ever in the audience, if I ever see you, I'm going to get you.
There you go, Susie. Make sure you let Frankie know if you're going to one of his gigs, or don't let him know if you don't want us to pick on you. And another one, this is a bit of a question for you. Where is it? Yes, Adrian K. He put, best comedian ever, but just listening, a 5-minute video made you viral. So why are you saying no video when on stage?
I'll let my manager answer this.
Yeah, so a lot of people are coming to see the shows live, and the live shows are great. Yeah. And while there's loads of ad-libbing and loads of different things going on, the show itself is, there's a formula to it. It's more or less the same show. Do you know what I mean?
You don't want to obviously spoil it for future.
And with the situation being, it's jokes, it's actual jokes and gags and whatever. If they get out online and there's too much of it, if the whole hour's there, Frankie's going on and telling jokes that everyone's heard. Do you know what I mean? So it's one of those things. It would be great if everyone could, and if everyone could keep sharing it with the mates and all the rest of it. But unfortunately, we're in a position where if we did keep that happening, it would just spoil the show.
It makes sense, doesn't it? I suppose. Obviously, you know, your viral video is great. It's all been fantastic, and you got to see it like a snippet of Frankie's show. But it is totally understandable that, you know, the more people are filming it, you know, the less the show's going to be new to you when you go next time, because
just safeguarding material, really. That's all.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And I mean, we're trying our best we're working with a video production team and stuff like that to try and get as much video content out to people to kind of give you, you know, a bit of an insight into Frankie himself, and, you know, tell you a bit more about him and what he gets up to and stuff. Take you to some of the shows, maybe see some little clips and stuff. But, you know, I'm sure people out there can understand that. We do put a request out at the start of the shows, but most people, you know, they think
most
that's
people
fine.
try and film a little bit or something, don't they?
Well, I mean, at the same time, a lot of people, I'll get on the stage and say, look, you know, it's at Frankie's request, this is why, and a lot of people will go with that because they understand. They're there to see it live. They want to see it live.
It's the same as anything, isn't it? Spoilers, you know, people
are fascinated with anything that's live.
Yeah.
You know, before I bought my house, I was in an estate agent's one day, and a fella ran in with a gun and shouted, "Nobody move."
It took a second there. Oh, brilliant. Frank's just give you a sneak peek now.
That's a new one. I don't use that one. It's a bit too weak to use in my act.
Yeah.
I'll have to ask Will if we can use it.
That one's a bit too politically correct to work for Frankie's act. Is he allowed to use that one, Will?
I don't think that's suitable, to be honest. I think that's a little bit I don't think people would be expecting that, would they, if they were coming to your shows?
I think it's quite funny though.
Yeah. Didn't you get spotted when you were in you were out shopping, when you were out buying meat or something?
Oh no, that was in the butcher's. That was all it was. You know, I mean, obviously you get older, you lose sight of how you look, really. And I went into a butcher's on Broadway by where I live, not a screen, you know. And I said to the butcher, "Is that a pig's head in the window?" And he said, "No, mate, it's a mirror."
Oh, I get that myself, to be fair. Right, on to business. We have said we're going to talk about where we can see you. First of all, where have you been recently? What's your latest gigs been like? Where have you been?
We've been all over the country, really, because the bookings kind of flooded in and we weren't sure, you know, what was going to happen next, whether this was going to be sustained or what was going to happen. We kind of took bookings all over the UK in some kind of like mishmashed format. So we ended up in Pwllheli this weekend, then up to Glasgow, then back down to Stoke, all over the place. But we're kind of trying to get some kind of a thorough route. So over the next couple of weeks, we're doing 2 shows in Whitehaven on Friday night. They're both sold out. Saturday, we're down at Llandudno FC. We know those lads well, good lads. We're back down to see them. That's sold out as well. Poulton Vicks over in the Whittle. There's still some tickets left for that. I think that there's a final few tickets left for that on
Sunday night, yeah. So that's going to be a great night. We've got Gary Skyner on as well with me as support. So Frankie Allen's show at Poulton Vicks, that's this Sunday. Going to be a fantastic night.
But if people want to find out where Frank is, the events listing's up on Facebook. The events listing's up on our website. There's some that we're going to add this week. Some local ones as far away as June next year. We're doing the Liverpool Naval Club. Booked that far.
So you've already been booked for June next year in the Naval Club?
It's madness, isn't it?
Oh, that's
brilliant. We've got quite a few in January and February. What's that one we're doing? One in Kirby, aren't we?
We're doing one in Kirby. That'll be released later this week, so that'll go out later this week. Obviously, we've got the big show at the Oldie.
The Oldie, 22nd of December. You're going to be there, Smigger.
Yeah,
working there.
I'll actually be there as well. I'll be comparing. Well, basically, it's a big Frankie Allen Christmas show, really, show. I'll be comparing, playing all the music, obviously loads of Christmas music here and there, and Frankie's going to be doing a show. So, what about that one? What's the plan for tickets? The
tickets, we actually haven't released that via our socials or via our website or anything yet, so details for that will come out this week. Yeah. But basically, it's going to be first come, first serve, get them as quick as you can, because it's going to be Frankie Allen's big Christmas show. You know, we're all over the UK, but at the end of the day, 2 days before Christmas, 3 days before Christmas it is, we want to be back home, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and so it's ideal to be local.
Well, it's just great. Yeah. You know, how many times you've done the Oldie over your time?
Well, I've done it hundreds of times, but they're a great crowd in there, you know, and as I say, Yoz is a personal friend of mine, and Brian, the DJ there, and yourself, of course. Yeah. who I've known for years, Lee, Lee, I know years Lee, but, and the great people there, a lot of Kirby people come up there, all from Netherton, Litherland and Aintree and Walton. It's fantastic. We've had some fantastic nights there.
Oh, brilliant, yeah. We've done charity nights and everything, haven't we? As it's getting closer, I'm assuming, as it's getting closer to the 22nd of December, there'll be more information on tickets. I'll be sharing it on my own social media because I'll be there myself. So there's going to be plenty of chances to get tickets. You can contact the Oldie Club themselves as well. Once the ticket information is available, you'll be able to get them anywhere, basically, through us, through me, through Frankie or Will, or through the Oldie Club themselves. So that's going to be an interesting one. Anything else coming up? Or?
Well, to be honest with you, we've got shows in Liverpool coming up. We've got Kensington Fields on the 3rd of November. We've got the 17th of November at the Brunel in Anfield. But in terms of, your listener base is right across. Yeah, just all I'd say to them is go to frankieallen.co.uk or go on our Facebook page. All the events are up there, and we'll see you at the show soon. The one thing I would say, though, a lot of people message us for tickets. We don't deal with any of the tickets. It's all external. Everyone that we deal with is either venues or promoters. Yeah. And on those gig details that we've posted will be a number for tickets, or it'll tell you how to get your tickets, and if you just contact that person, they'll be able to sort you out.
Yeah, so that makes sense. So obviously, when Frank's doing a gig in the Oldie, you contact the Oldie for tickets. When he's doing a gig in Kirby, you contact that bar. When he's doing the gig in the Naval Club, you'll be contacting the Naval Club for tickets. But if you are, if you don't, you I forgot how to talk for a second then. If you run your own pub, or you've got a restaurant, or you've got a club, and you want to actually book Frank, bearing in mind this can be anywhere in the whole of the UK, and of course even abroad, as we know from Tenerife. If you would like to book Frank, that's where you need to get in contact with Will.
Yeah, bookings at frankieallen.co.uk. I mean, Frank doesn't deal with any agents, so it's all direct with us, father and son, so it is what it is. Yeah. And obviously you're not paying any fees on top of that, it's just us. Yeah. Both on the end of the phone, So
it's nice and easy to do it. As I said, any other future gigs, just keep your eye on Facebook as well. There's always updates on where Frank's going to be and how you can get to see him. I think that's it. Thank you very much for coming in.
You're welcome, mate. I've totally enjoyed it. It's been great to see you again, Lee.
Yeah, it's been good to see you.
You're a good lad.
Well. Thank you very much.
And
thanks for coming in, Will. Yeah.
Thank you very much from me as well. It's been great to be on the show. It's been great to see, what a good setup you've got going on here.
It's nice, isn't it? It's very feng shui. I don't know what that word means, but it's something like that.
And I've just told him to watch a movie he's never seen it, called Plain Misty for Me. If anybody out there has ever seen it, it's about a DJ, a nighttime DJ, just like Smig, who gets stalked. Big Clint Eastwood movie, so try and catch it.
Perfect movie to give me nightmares.
Smig, I think Frank's going to start stalking you after this show. You've seen how good the radio station is.
Yeah, that's true. I wouldn't be surprised.
Alright, thanks very much, mate. All the best.
Thank you.
From Crosby Village
to your radio.
Bliss Radio.